Yes guys, it's Hen here again and welcome to another video. Well, in this video we're going to be talking about the three main differences between a US broker and offshore brokers like the ones in the Bahamas or the ones you've got in Europe or wherever else in the world. Well, if you're new to this channel, please subscribe to the channel. Of course, leave the video a like, and if you've got any questions relating to this topic or anything related to money and trading and all of that, you can leave them down below and I'll be sure to respond to you. Number one difference between US brokers and overseas brokers is of course the margin. You have companies like TD Ameritrade, Oanda, you have forex.com and so many others, and the most, and I think is the regulation in the United States, that you can only get a 1 to 50 margin in your account if you're trading forex. You can't get anything more than that. And compared to like something like LQDFX and of course OspreyFX, you can get anywhere from 1 to 200 and 1 to 1000 when it comes to your margin. So it's a good thing, but it's also a blessing and a curse. It can be both ways. If of course you have a proven strategy and of course you can handle your emotions and you have good money management. In case you don't know what margin is, the more margin you have means the smaller money you're required to put down in order to take a trade. For example, you want to take a trade of like GBP USD on TD Ameritrade, you're required to have about $6,200 to take a one standard lot, which is 100,000 contracts. On the other hand, you want to use, let's say, something like OspreyFX or LQDFX. You want to take that trade, they might charge you like $360 or maybe $400 just to take a one standard lot. So this can be a blessing if you have a small account and you want to grow it aggressively, but it can also be a curse, because if you do not have proper money management, you can't control your emotions, and of course you don't have a proven strategy, which of course all those things are important, but the most important one is your emotions and money management. If you don't have those two in the right place, that is a massive recipe for a blown account. So you want to look into that before jumping into making all those massive trades. Number two is going to be the spreads. US brokers have one of the worst spreads you can find out there. Like, you can't compare it with something like the one they have overseas, which they can offer you ECN spreads, going from, I've seen 0.0, I've even seen 0.1. Another thing again is you get ECN accounts, meaning you trade with the bank. So your trade actually goes with like bank orders. It's not actually your broker trading against you and all of that. At least that's what they advertise. So that's also something to think about. So you're saying maybe a 0.0 spread or a 0.1, 0.2 spread, which is really tight. Why do you want to trade a smaller spread? Okay, trading a smaller spread is good for you, because if, for example, you're a scalper and you want to get into a trade and out, and it's the actual price you're seeing in the market, that's what you enter. You enter a market price and it feeds you right at that point, which is amazing. But if there's a spread, you have to pay for that difference. You get into a trade. Having spreads, they change every second. So it's not like static. It's not like, oh, you're going to pay 2.3 or 0.5. It's always changing. Maybe early in the morning when the market is like very volatile and there's a lot of saturation in the market, the spread might be a little bit tighter, but maybe later on when there's not a lot of people trading, the spread might be wide. So if a trade is going against you, of course you can lose money, or maybe you're a long-term trader, that could hurt you maybe when you want to get off a trade, and even if it's 1% or 2% of what you're actually supposed to make is being taken away from you, it doesn't really make any sense. But one thing you have to know also is the smaller the spread means you might be paying for commissions for your broker, which personally I do not mind. I'd rather pay my broker maybe for a round trip or a round trade of a one lot, maybe $4, $5 or $10, rather than get into a trade of one lot and be down instantly by like $25 because of the spread. So it's advantageous to you because no matter what is going on, you're getting in right at the price you want, and you're getting out at a good price also. So this is good for you lot who are scalpers. The last but not the least is funding your account. So it's way easier to fund accounts in the US. You know, you can do like ACH, you can do wire, you can do you can also, I think you can also use your card in some brokers let you do that. Maybe some might not, but I know like regular direct deposit, and you're not charged any fees for any of that. It goes in within a day or within 3 days and you're sorted out. The downside of using overseas brokers is there's so many restrictions with the US government and, you know, our financial institutions here in the US compared to like everywhere else in the world. So now you have to either use Bitcoin or you have to use a third party, which will charge you money for them to fund your account for you to trade. So if you're going to use Bitcoin, of course, you know, Bitcoin, the price is fluctuating, but you get your money into Bitcoin, send your broker Bitcoin, and there's a price to receive your Bitcoin. That's what they're going to credit your account as, or they're going to credit your account with. And if you decide to use a third party where you're going to pay them, they're going to charge you fees. And your bank, US bank, have a tendency of charging international fees, and that depends from bank to bank. Some banks can charge from anywhere from like 0.5% to 5 or 10%. So it depends on your bank. You want to make sure you check all of that and make sure that everything is good on your bank side before you decide which is best for you. Personally, I would say use Bitcoin, but if there are other ways you can, of course, transfer money to start trading with any of your overseas brokers, better for you. So the question comes down to which one is best for you. So if you have a small account and you want to grow it aggressively, and maybe you're a scalper, you want to really get into the market and your account is not that massive, but you want to be, you know, you want to take more risk, and of course you have a good strategy and good money management skills, you should definitely register for overseas brokers, maybe like LQDFX or OspreyFX, and which they have really good margin. Of course, you have to pay for the commission fees, but it's going to help you and get you to the point where you need quicker and faster compared to like trading with like 1 to 50 margin. On the other hand, if you have quite a decent amount of money and maybe you're a long-term trader, your entry doesn't really phase you because you get into a trade and you probably don't get out maybe like days or weeks or months time. So the spread wouldn't really do anything to you, to be honest. So a US broker is definitely preferable, and of course you get free commissions, no commissions in any of your trades, which is also good for you. Put more money into your pocket. Anyways guys, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. I am going to leave the links to all these brokers down below. So, and of course, before you want to sign up, do your own research before you sign up to make sure any of these brokers that I'm recommending are good for you. Anyways, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Of course, leave the video a like and subscribe if you're new. And if you've got any questions, leave them in the comments below. And all those people who's been asking me about brokerage, brokers to use to trade Forex and all of that, I've answered all your questions. Everything is down below. So you have so many options. Of course, you have options in the US and you have options overseas. So you need to see what is best for you and sign up to one. Hopefully this helped you out. Let me know in the comments down below if it does. Apart from that, that's it from me, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.